Hi everyone, Danny here from the Perth Golf Centre, coming to you today from the beautiful Western Australian Golf Club here in Perth with a lovely skyline here behind us. I feel very grateful to be able to live and work here in Perth. But today I'm coming to you with a video about the basic chip shot, so some of the key fundamentals in setup and stroke, and also when we use this shot. So when do we use it? Well, normally in this kind of situation, you're just on the edge of the green, you've got a little bit of rough area to get over or an obstacle that's close by, and you've got to get it on the green and running out like a putt to a flag that's a bit further away. So roughly 25% in the air and 75% on the green. So to do that, we're going to use a less lofted club than you would for, say, a pitch shot. So maybe a 7 iron, 8 iron, 9 iron. Today I've got a 7 iron. The reason we use a lower lofted club is to take the spin off the shot. We don't really want spin on this. We want to be able to more about controlling contact and speed. Okay, so this is actually a shot that requires a little bit less practice than, again, say a pitch shot. It's a much simpler technique once you get it right, and don't overcomplicate this shot. So some of the key things in setup: firstly, ball position. So we're going to get the ball in the center of our heels. Always think of ball position in relation to your heels, because people stand differently with their toes. And stance width, nice and narrow for this, less than what you would for a putt, because we want to be able to rotate our hips a little bit. Again, just that nice softness of the knees, and if we get too wide, it's a bit more difficult to rotate. So once you've got the ball position correct and the stance width, I'm also going to aim slightly left. So my feet and hips are going to aim slightly left of my intended target. That's just to preset that open, because we're not creating heaps of momentum in this stroke. By doing that, it just gives us that little bit of room, that little bit of freedom just to turn through, just like you would if you threw a ball from your hand to the target there. So again, from this view, I've got the ball position correct, I've got the stance width correct, and then I'm going to get the weight forward onto my lead foot, about 60% on the left side and 40% on the right. That'll also get my sternum a little bit more ahead of the ball, just about here. So my low point is actually just ahead of the ball. That's kind of where I want to contact the ground. And then from there, I'm going to firstly get the weight forward, my low point's here, and then I'm going to move the club back behind the ball, but keep my body here. And you'll see I've also got a slight bit of shaft lean forward as well. So all this is just going to promote that nice ball turf contact. Once we've got that, I'm also going to stand a little bit closer to the ball. So I'm going to come in a little bit closer, much more like a putt. The reason being, if you think of a driver swing, for example, if you imagine this is the club face, my palm, if I'm going to make the swing, and as I swing back, there's a lot of rotation going on there, and you've got to rely on really good timing then to get the ball started on line. Whereas if I stand a bit closer, more like a putt, you'll see now as I rotate back and through, there's still that little bit of an arc there, but much less rotation, much less things going on there, and more chance of the ball starting where you want it to go. And I've also got, you'll notice, the heel slightly up, so the toe is really the only part of the club that's touching the ground. Again, less things going on, less things that can go wrong, basically. So we're trying to keep this as simple as possible. So once you've got your setup and you're happy with that, I also, for better feel and to be able to judge distance a little bit better, I'd also recommend just hold a little bit further down the grip here rather than all the way up the top there. Again, you may need to do that from the fact that you stood a bit closer as well. So with the stroke, we're going to get very much just using the shoulders, a little bit of rotation as well, but we don't want it to come from the wrists. We want to keep those as quiet as we can, nice and soft, but nice and quiet at the same time. So it's back and through, nice rhythm, and just bruising the ground as we go through. What's a common error that we see is when people stand too square on, or their hips don't rotate through, they'll stop and they'll use the wrists, and you get that shot where we get the fat shot behind the ball. Or you'll get the situation where people try and help the ball up in the air and they'll fall back, and you get that thin one through the green. So I'm going to play the stroke how we'd like it now. So once you've got your setup, so I'll go over those points again. So you've got the ball in the middle of your heels, feet nice and narrow, weights on your front foot. So your low point's just ahead of the ball, nice and close. And then from here, we're just going to rotate back and through. Nice crisp strike. I wasn't going for that flag. I was actually going for the blue flag a bit further on. And so I'll demonstrate that again. It would be good if I was going for that one. So nice and close. There we go. So you see you've got that rolling out there like put, hardly any spin on that whatsoever, more about judging distance. So I hope that helped with your chipping. If you have any questions, please comment below. And I'd also really appreciate or love if you would like and subscribe to the channel. I'm very new to YouTube, and but otherwise I do look forward to seeing you again soon, and thanks again for watching.